Morning, guys. Let's sit back, have a coffee. I think I'm gonna take a quick read through one of my art history books from university. I always enjoyed, especially the architecture from the ancient period, but that's aside from the point. Let's get on a more red-pilled topic here. Let's talk about the reactions to when you got a wife or girlfriend that's cheating. It's something I've noticed from a few years now being in the manosphere. I always kind of chuckle when we say that. But that 7-year itch is real. So the reports tend to read fairly similar after a while. Guy will be 30 to 42 years old, usually married. More often than not, a kid, possibly two, who are around 5-6 years old at the youngest. They'll always tell the story about the wife's affair, and they'll instantly start up with all kinds of justifications for how we can understand it. It's usually things were stressful, it's usually there were money problems, general life issues, which isn't really an excuse. I think one guy went so far as to use his wife's mother's cancer as a stressor and a reason that she jumped on Chad's dick. And the first thing you'll see guys throw after that is that he makes excuses. Almost always. If a guy wants to get back with her, he's going to make up excuses as to why she did what she did, how it's not her fault. And I think that's the worst part of the tradcon lie, or traditional conservative. It's that they treat women as children without agency. It's always funny because there was a post, I can't remember who it was, I want to say Gay Lou Boyle, but it could have been anybody, who wrote, "The red pill respects women too much and that's why they're hated," and it kind of gave me a chuckle. It's essentially that. You just got to look at them as if they were anybody else and nothing special. In this case, the guy's wife decided to cheat on him. She made the full-on decision to that, as opposed to putting up with any kind of hardships, feeling-wise, or just a divorce. Kind of strikes me as odd when somebody, especially a woman, cheats instead of divorcing. That's because she wants her cake and to eat it too. She clearly likes having the guy around to pay all the bills, to provide the home, have a couple kids. Doesn't really want him for the sexual part. The worst part, and the reason that I kind of wanted to put this video out there, is because the response that guys use is really tragic. It hurts my feelings when I see it, because they take it as their responsibility to fix the relationship. 8 minutes later. Alright, let's sit back and enjoy the nice Toronto daytime weather here. Talk about the relationship. So I've said it as long as I can remember. It's that relationships are a woman's job. So what do I mean by this? Just take two couples. Take a man and a woman, where either the man doesn't want to be in it and the woman does, or vice versa. Out of those two relationships, which ones tend to work over the long term? I mean, ideally, you want both of them to be invested, but without exception, you're going to find that the relationship where the girl still wants it, but the guy does not, tend to last. And you can think of these examples. Let's take some simpler ones where, let's say the guy just has some outside activities, sleeping with the coworkers, whatever. The girl kind of puts up with it. The relationship still stays fairly stable. I mean, my stepfather was like that for the longest time. He did a lot of girls over the 20 years, but my mom stuck by his side because she had the life that she wanted. She had everything she wanted out of the relationship. But anyways, aside from that, on the flip side, you are in these situations where the girl's cheating on a guy where she doesn't want to be in and the guy does. And essentially nothing that he does is going to change that. So aside from that, when we talk about the reasoning, guys have a horrible tendency that once they find out, to call out bad behavior as if you're appealing to some kind of higher judgment. See there, officer? She cheated, she admits it, so now I have to win. Whatever the hell that means. The problem with that as a strategy is that by calling out somebody for bad behavior, especially one that's as reputation protective as a woman, is that all you're doing is you're driving the behavior underground. She's still going to cheat, but she's going to do it cleverly. Now, I get it's kind of hard, but the best thing you can do in these situations is to shut your mouth. Keep your eyes open and your mouth shut. Girls who think you're stupid tend to act more recklessly. Now, this is going to come in handy in the future since you've decided at some point that your dignity is worth more than half the cost of the house, a little bit of money, or tucking your kids in at night. And this is important too. If you think that tucking your kids in at night is what makes you a good father, then I don't know what to tell you. Basically, as a man of the house, your daughters are taking their example of the men that they're going to date when they grow up from you. So you really don't have a perfect situation out of this. You're going to have the best of two bad decisions. You're either going to be the dad that divorced mom, but I still love him to bits, who's strong, independent, he's got his act together, or you're going to be that floor mat that teaches a girl that you basically can do whatever the hell you want and a guy should put up with it. Any boundaries at all are toxic masculinity. Is it any wonder that when you see modern feminists out there, they think all men are sore, pushover, weak men that just deserve to be stepped on? That's all they've known. Something I kind of want to get back to the point here with is what makes a man red-pilled. And I'd say it's not working out and attractiveness. It's not the don't be unattractive part. I mean, pickup artists, tradcons, everybody has that. I'd say the separation here is resolve. Because at some point you kind of have to realize all this collection of stuff, your house, your money, even daily access to your children, it's not worth your self-respect or your dignity. And it's a hard place for a man to get. That's why for most of the times that I'm consulting with guys, I talk about what I call the sparring partner strategy. The idea is here, this relationship's over. She's already told you it was over through her actions. You can justify it with whatever words you want. It's just there. So you get yourself into a position that you never make this mistake again, where you have one-itis for a wife, or where you're so attached to a lifestyle that you've built that you're not afraid, or that you are afraid to nuke the whole thing if it's going to cost you your self-respect. And often the best way to do this is you get a guy to a point where he starts to have options. Yeah, you may be the married guy, but chicks love married guys. If you're at the point where the other girls that surround you can tell when your wife is not making you happy and they want to step in and fill the void, that puts you in a position to ask the hard question, which is, well, what value does she offer to my life? And outside of a 9-month uterus rental, some guys have a hard time answering that question. They essentially are attached to a woman that gives them no value whatsoever. And this is where a guy starts to get his frame and realize that he is his own mental point of origin. I mean, money is just money. You can make more money. Houses are just houses. You can get another house. You can always have another dream. It's never too late for you to build the life that you want, even if you have to start over after being zeroed out at 30. In a worst case scenario, if a wife estranges you from the kids and weaponizes them, you can always make it up to them in their adulthood. It's nothing like giving a kid college money because you want to put him up for success in the future and make amends to whatever lies his mom has told about you over the years. I mean, it's not an ideal situation, but lots of men aren't given ideal situations. They're given the choice between a bad situation and a worse one. And the only thing you can really control is yourself. So I'm going to end this one there. These are kind of expansive topics, and I don't think the 10-minute time I set here is enough to talk about them, so I'll probably release more of these ones. As you can tell, I'm clearly not going to go outside and go jogging. I want to thank everybody for paying attention here. At this point, I think we're just about ready to put the plunger down on the coffee and pour ourselves a nice cup of coffee. It's a prep. Are you ready? As always, I want to thank my Patreon subscribers. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to put out this much content at this much of a pace. I'm working on increasing the workload as I get better at video editing, so $5 a month at Patreon. Look for Ryan Stone. Feel free to donate. Take care, guys. Until next time, this is Ryan.